Overall, the most modern part about this vehicle is 2001 Subaru Impreza 2.5RS. This is the sedan version, the GC6, which is the code for both the 2-door and the 4-door, not to be confused with the GF, which is for the wagon. Now, we're of course powered by the EJ251. That's a 2.5 liter flat 4 naturally aspirated. It's actually the EJ251, the second iteration, which makes 165 horsepower, 166 pound-feet of torque with a 6,500 RPM redline and a 5-speed manual transmission. Although you could have optioned this with a 4-speed auto, but why would you ever do that? We have symmetric all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is rated at 7.8 seconds for the manual. We're weighing in right around 2,950 pounds, although the owner, Armando, was telling me very heavy, but by modern standards, sub 3,000 is a lightweight. We have strut front and rear suspension, hydraulic steering, a 99-inch wheelbase. And if you're wondering what is a 2.5RS, it's essentially the hottest Impreza in the US before the WRX arrived in 2002. And of course gained a cult following. It was popular as this platform for WRX and STI swaps because the chassis itself can handle a lot more power. The 2.5RS is iconic for, you know, the rally-inspired looks, the front hood scoop, things like that, the all-wheel drive capability, despite it having more modest power output. In terms of the actual aesthetics, everything here is stock except for front lip and the rear replica spoiler. So the gurney flap on the real one actually generates, I think, like 100 pounds of downforce at higher speeds, whereas this is, you know, without the gurney flap, it's not really generating much at all, but it looks cool. It looks the part. Market value for these is about $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the example. And in terms of mods, we have Raceland Coilovers, Whiteline sway bars with rear lateral links, Momo Corse Evo 17-inch wheels with Conti Extreme Contact tires, and a 235 section with square, Perrin crankshaft pulley, and Koyorad 2.5-inch aluminum radiator. As always, full mod list is always in the description. Also the Momo steering wheel and the bucket seat. You got a proper glass house feeling interior, a lot of visibility, and a low belt line, which is great for your visibility, not so great for your safety if you get a side impact. Seating position, very upright. Seat is all the way, oh, there we go. Go back a little bit further. I thought that was all the way back, but we can get into a better position if you're taller. Steering wheel does not telescope, but it does tilt. You're very upright. You have great visibility. Very funky, like, carpet material on this dash. Not quite suede or Alcantara. It's cool though, man. I feel like 90s Japanese cars, and technically this is 2001, but you know what I mean. This era of Japanese cars has a very distinct interior, and they're kind of nostalgic. I'm a fan. A very notchy mechanical gear shift here. Feels more modern than 2001. Steering ratio pretty slow. Light steering rack. Oh wow. This front end, I feel like I have such great visibility that I can really place this exactly where I want, and I can actually push the car more than I otherwise would because the limits are so low. You're feeling a giveaway to understeer. This is pedal to the metal, flat out. Wow, brakes, so much travel. And then you barely get anything. You really got to push into them to get the car to slow. Because the power is so low and the limits are so low, you can really just chuck this car around, manhandle it a little bit. This is pretty great. This is fun. Decent body control. Ride is a bit, you know, a bit firm, but I think given what this car is, it's pretty appropriate. Not punishing, giving you a good amount of body control and responsiveness. You really just push it hard in these corners, and it takes it. Yeah, and as you get understeer, you let off, and the nose will tuck back in, get your grip. This is actually a car I feel that could really teach people how to drive an all-wheel drive car harder, simply because it has such a approachable dynamic to it. Very progressive. You can easily predict when it's gonna give way to understeer. Cyclists don't do too wide unless you're trying to block a lane. I'm a cyclist myself. That's why drivers hate you guys and hate us. You give us all a bad name. Oh dude, these brakes are so sketched up. This car also doesn't have ABS. Now, even though it has hydraulic steering, it's not the most communicative actually, which is why you're gonna see as I'm turning, I'll kind of like wiggle at the wheel a bit to test it and to see what's going on at the front end. Also a very slow ratio. I like this Momo wheel though. There's a firmness to it which actually enhances your level of directness. It definitely leaves you wanting for more power. 160 is not very much in modern day, even though the car weighs sub 3K. But the fun part is that it really lets you just push it hard. Slow car, fast mentality. Oh yeah. Getting up the throttle there, feeling the rear end wanting to rotate just a little bit. This is a really fun car, guys, and for the money, you know, 5 to 15K, depending on how clean of an example, you get a lot of driving enjoyment. Like, is it the most communicative steering? No, but it's good enough. You're getting a little bit of feedback. It's fairly direct. It feels lightweight. You have the practicality of being a four-door. I think this also looks super cool. The 2.5RS styling is on point. And me blasting the AC right now is probably not helping its cause. This little 2.5-liter engine is already struggling. Overall, the most modern part about this vehicle is definitely the transmission. This feels so tight and notchy and modern. Really impressed. Actually, a lot of JDM cars from the 90s have, and again, early 2000s, have very modern feeling transmission. And the other inputs too, they're not lagging too far behind. Like the steering is at least very direct, even though the steering ratio is slower. The brake pedal, I'd say that's probably the thing that feels the most like sketchy or old, is just how far you have to push the brakes, how soft they are, how little firmness there is. And I guess I needed a proper mid-engine rear-wheel drive sports car to get that truck driver to move out of the way for us. I don't think he was willing to for this 2.5RS. What an endearing car, guys. I mean, I love older, lighter vehicles that have good bones, good fundamentals that allow you to push them and have fun with them. You know, if the inputs are good enough and natural enough that you don't have a steep learning curve, you can drive the car without having to constantly think about, oh man, the clutch is really weird, or the brakes, you know, being so off-putting that you can't feel comfortable in the car. Let's give you guys a pull. Not even in the same zip code as the Lotus Emira on a pull, but that's okay. This car has such charm to it. It's such a fun car to push because the limits are low power, all-wheel drive system, great visibility, good enough communication, and very predictable chassis dynamics where it actually feels somewhat dynamic to get understeer, lift off, get traction back to the front wheels, and you can even tuck in as you play around with the weight transfer. It's really a car that feels very much underpowered in modern day, yet it still puts a big smile on your face, and it encourages you to actually push it harder. Whereas with a lot of modern cars, you know, I'm just driving an M2 Comp that made 600 wheel horsepower. That's the car where you're like, okay, I gotta tiptoe around this thing. I cannot just push it all the way, because very quickly you find that the engine is overdeveloped and the other parts of the car, the brakes, the suspension, are underdeveloped, and that reduces confidence. Here you have the opposite problem, which is that the engine being underdeveloped makes it feel slower, but it allows you to then push the car harder and lean on the brakes, on the chassis, on the other parts of the vehicle. So overall, a ton of fun to drive and immense driving pleasure for just $5,000 to $15,000 in today's market. My friends, let me know what you think of this Subaru Impreza 2.5RS. Big shout out to the owner Armando for letting me review his car. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com and fill out the form on the homepage. That's actually how we ended up reviewing Armando's car here. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in the next one.